Long ago, in the warm lands of southern India, a story began. It is the tale of a stone born deep in the earth that would travel the world. It would be called the Orlov Diamond. This is more than a story about a jewel. It is a story of faith, trickery, love, and power. Imagine holding something that could catch the light of 1,000 candles. Now imagine it was once thought to be the watchful eye of a god. The journey started in a place called the Golconda region. This was the diamond center of the world centuries ago. From deep, dark mines by the Krishna River came the most beautiful gems anyone had ever seen. Miners would work for months, and then one day, they might find a miracle. The stone that would become the Orlov was one of those miracles. It was a rough crystal as big as a small bird's egg, but what made it special was its perfect pale blue-green color, like clear seawater, and its amazing size. Can you picture the moment it first saw sunlight after millions of years in the dark? The first hands to hold this stone were likely those of a skilled Indian cutter. He would have studied it for days, figuring out how to reveal its soul. With careful blows, he shaped it. He gave it a special cut called an Indian rose. This was not a sparkly cut, like modern diamonds have. Instead, it was made of rows of triangular facets, like the petals of a rosebud. It made the stone glow with a soft, mysterious light. Once cut, it was truly magnificent. But where does a gem this special belong? The answer, many believed, was in the heart of the divine. This is where the legend takes over. The story says the diamond found its holy home in the great Srirangam temple. This temple is an enormous city of faith for Hindus, dedicated to the god Vishnu. The diamond was not for a king or a sultan. It was set into a statue of the deity as one of its eyes. Think about that for a moment. A diamond born from the earth became the eye of a god, watching over its worshippers. For generations, priests cared for it. Devotees prayed before it. It was not a piece of wealth. It was the eye of God, a sacred part of their religion. How do you think people felt, looking up and seeing the soft glow of a diamond gazing back at them? But the world outside the temple walls was changing. European armies and traders were fighting for control of India's riches. The story turns dark with the arrival of a French soldier. He was a grenadier, a fighter in the Carnatic Wars, but he dreamed of a fortune, not victory for his army. The legend says he deserted. He changed his clothes, learned local customs, and disguised himself as a Hindu convert. His act was so convincing that he earned the trust of the priests at the Srirangam temple. They even let him help guard the inner sanctuary where the diamond-eyed god stood. Can you imagine the patience and deception this plan required? Living a lie every single day. The thief waited for his moment. It came on a night of howling wind and crashing rain, when the noise would cover any sound. Inside the dark temple, he climbed the statue. Using a tool, he pried the large, rose-cut diamond from the eye socket of the deity. In that act, a sacred object was turned into stolen goods. He slipped back into the storm and disappeared. Think of the priests discovering the theft the next morning. What would that shock and sorrow have felt like? The eye of God was gone, taken by a man who saw only its price, not its spirit. The diamond's holy life was over. Its criminal journey began. The soldier, it is said, ran to the port city of Madras. There, he sold the diamond to an English sea captain for a tiny fraction of what it was worth. The captain knew he had something priceless. The stone began to move across the world through shadowy deals. For years, it was like a ghost, appearing in one city and then another. It was handled by merchants and traders. One important dealer was a man named Koje Raphael. He carried the diamond across Europe, from London to Amsterdam, trying to find the richest buyer in the world. The stone that was once an object of prayer was now a product with a price tag. What kind of person do you think would finally be able to afford it? That person was a Russian count named Grigory Orlov. He was a war hero, tall and handsome, and for a time, he had been the most important man in the life of Empress Catherine the Great of Russia. He had even helped her become the ruler. But by 1774, Catherine's love for him had cooled. Count Orlov was desperate to win her back. He heard about an incredible diamond for sale in Amsterdam. He saw his chance. He bought the massive stone for the unbelievable sum of 1.4 million Dutch florins. That was enough money to buy a palace and an army. He was not buying a jewel. He was buying a grand gesture, hoping it would reopen the heart of the most powerful woman in Russia. With great hope, Count Orlov traveled back to St. Petersburg and presented the diamond to Catherine. It was a gift meant to remind her of their past passion. Catherine the Great was a very smart ruler. She accepted the fantastic gift. It was, after all, one of the largest diamonds in all of Europe. But she did not take Count Orlov back as her favorite. Instead, she did something much more clever. She made the diamond a symbol not of love, but of imperial power. She ordered her best jeweler to set it at the very top of the new imperial scepter. The scepter was a golden rod held by monarchs during ceremonies. Now, it was crowned with this stolen, legendary stone. Why might a ruler choose to put such a personal gift on the symbol of their public power? The diamond got a new name that day, the Orlov Diamond. But it no longer belonged to Count Orlov. It belonged to Russia. From that moment on, the scepter with the Orlov was used in the coronation of every Russian emperor and empress. The diamond that had watched over a temple now watched over the vast Russian Empire. It glittered above the clenched silver eagle on the scepter, a sign of absolute rule. The legend of its theft was mostly forgotten in the royal courts of Europe. There, it was simply a sign of incredible wealth and strength. Think about the life of this stone, from a god's eye in a hot, bustling Indian temple to the cold, glittering heart of Russian imperial ceremony. What does that journey say about how value changes from place to place? For centuries, the Orlov sat safely in the royal treasury. It survived wars, revolutions, and the fall of empires. During the Russian Revolution in 1917, when the Tsar was overthrown, the new revolutionary leaders searched for the royal jewels. They found them all in a simple wooden box, ready to be taken away. The scepter with the Orlov was among them. The communists did not believe in crowns and jewels. They saw them as symbols of a bad past, but even they understood the incredible value of the stones. They saved them, and the Orlov was placed in the Kremlin Diamond Fund Museum. There it sits today, behind thick glass. People from all over the world come to see it. They see a beautiful historic jewel. How many of them know the story of the stormy night it was stolen? The story of the Orlov Diamond is like a puzzle with missing pieces. Its early years are a mix of legend and guesswork. Some experts have a different idea. They think the Orlov might be an even more famous lost diamond, the Great Mughal Diamond. That was a huge stone given to a Mughal emperor long ago. It was described by a French traveler, but then vanished from history. The shape and cut of the Orlov match that description very closely. So it is possible this stone was never in a temple eye at all, but was instead a treasure of an emperor's court, lost during wars and invasions. Does it change the meaning of the diamond if it came from a palace instead of a temple? There is another famous diamond with a confusingly similar name, the Black Orlov. It is vital to know they are not the same. The Black Orlov is a smaller, dark stone with its own legend of being stolen from an idol in India and carrying a curse. Its name comes from a Russian princess who once owned it, not from Count Grigory Orlov. The two stones share only a name and a vague connection to Russian nobility. Their stories often get mixed up, creating a web of mystery. Why do you think people are so drawn to stories of cursed or stolen jewels? Today, the Orlov Diamond is quiet. Its traveling days are done. It is a museum piece, a witness to history, but its story is a powerful reminder. It reminds us of the incredible skill of the miners and cutters who found and shaped it. It speaks of the deep devotion of the people who might have worshipped it as something holy. It tells of human greed, of a soldier who betrayed a trust for a chance at riches. It shows the grand, often failed gestures of love between powerful people. And finally, it stands as a symbol of state power, of empires that have risen and fallen. Look at a picture of the imperial scepter. The golden rod is elegant. The double-headed eagle looks fierce, but your eye is drawn to the top. There sits the Orlov, with its unique rose cut, catching the light. It is not just a jewel, it is a storyteller. Its journey from the banks of the Krishna River to a Moscow museum is the story of a changing world. It is a story written in light, shadow, and human desire. The next time you see something that shines with a beautiful light, remember the Orlov. Remember that its glow holds more than just beauty. It holds centuries of whispers, from the prayers of priests to the plans of a thief, from the hope of a lover to the command of an empress. Every glint is a piece of the story.